Yo, how's it going, guys? Pretty sure we're live. Are we up? Are we working? We live. Hey, great. All right, I'm Doth Savick, and this is my live stream number 2. We're gonna focus on the Evolution Enigma from Discmania today. It is September 21st, and that's important because I do have an announcement running a raffle for a survey that we're going to run for one week and give away a gift card for it. So I know some people will be checking in as a VOD. What's up? Hey, Matt, how's it going? Zach, hey, Froky, Alex, Redo. Thanks, guys. Happy to have you out here today. So I've got a stack of 11 Enigmas here in a few different plastics. We've got the European Open. This is a little bit of a sparkle. We've got some, metal flake in there or whatever. And then we've got them in the Neo plastic. This is the one I was talking about earlier. It's got some nice milky white swirls in there. Hey Chad, how's it going? Free Finger, hey, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. This is the newest one in the vapor plastic. What else do we got? Is that it? Now, we've got some in the primal run. I'm not sure that these are any different or not, but I didn't sort these. I've got 2 primal runs, 2 of the European Opens, 3 Neos, and 4 in Vapor. So I hit my buddy up today, Brandon. He had, I know he had more of these than me, so I wanted to just snag all his, get his together with mine, and then start gathering some data on them and seeing if they have some differences in the wing or dome or, just what's going on. Evan, what's up, man? You've got one out of a mystery box. It's becoming one of your favorite drivers. Yeah, they feel really nice. Honestly, the ones in the vapor plastic feel like, these are Swedish, right? So this is Lat that's making these. But what this plastic, the feel of this reminds me closest of the Eco or Echo or whatever DD3s. Like that's really what these feel like to me. You've heard Vapor and Neo fly pretty similar. Yeah, to be honest, I have not thrown all of these. I've not thrown them very much, so I'm really we're going to be looking at hard data today. I can't tell you a whole lot about flight. Favorite disc color is pink. Free Finger, yep, I love pink too. Look at this one. It's got some, look at the flashing hanging off of this. They didn't clean this guy up very good from the factory, but yeah, if you're wondering, this guy clearly hasn't been thrown. That's kind of a weird spot to like. That'll just pull right off. It's not a problem. Look at those the little hair hanging on there from the upper parting line. It's kind of crazy. I've never seen one just exactly like that before. But yeah, it'll just peel right off. My buddy told me that the Enigma in the vapor plastic had a whole lot more turn to it, and he pulled one out, and I threw it twice. I threw it once forehand and once backhand. When I threw it forehand, I was surprised to see that it actually did flip up, which throwing like these sparkle ones. What are the? Oh, Forge is the word. That's the name they use for this plastic is Forge, I believe. These Forge ones are just beef, or at least this red one's mine. This red one is beef. I had one other, I think I had a pink one just like this, but sold it to somebody. This pink one's my buddy's, so. You've got an pink Neo that's super swirly. Yeah, that one pink one that I've got has. I know it's kind of hard to see in this. It's maybe. You can see it maybe better with the light, but there's a lot of white swirls in this one. I really like that kind of milky white swirl in there. It feels really nice too. So generally when I'm going through a stack of discs like this and testing them, the first thing I do is start cutting and put a chunk of blue tape on the bottom of them, especially if they're not all mine. I don't want to get, somebody else's confused with mine. I need to get their discs back to them. Chad's interested to see how they fly in relation to the Zeus and DD3. Yeah, the Zeus and DD3 both have quite a bit of variation. Like on the Zeus, it's mostly dome, and then the DD3 has quite a bit of other variation. I made a post on the DD3s on the Disc Golf Course Review forum. If you go on there and look at DD3s, I took a whole bunch of pictures of them and set them out. The pictures that I've been doing for like parting line height, I've actually set up a second camera for you guys today to show parting line height and wing. Boom, there you go. That's my old webcam. Oh, my focus is a little bit off on that. I've got a couple destroyers up there right now. Let me tweak that. Let me tweak that focus. Oh, there we go. That's the good stuff right there. Those are a couple super understable destroyers. But I've been setting up a jig like that in the past so that I can get those discs and do side-by-side comparisons on the wings and parting line height. You can see, yeah, both of those are crazy understable destroyers that I have set up there right now. But I'm gonna start putting each of these Enigmas up there as well. Alex says, I imagine they're like a less stable destroyer. I think that these Enigmas are right in the middle. Like, yeah, if I divided the spectrum of destroyers into 3 chunks, I bet Enigmas are in the middle. So first, I'm just gonna fire up my scale and start checking these weights against what they're listed. I got a couple little weights I set on here to make sure it's calibrated. These are just little tiny weights to show. Yeah, it nailed it. This is a super cheap scale, but it hasn't gone off yet. So this first one, it's a primal run. It's marked 173. 175.17. Yeah. I'm just going to write 175 on it. I don't care about the rest. So that one's 2 grams heavier than stated. This one is, another primal run is also marked 173. And it's 174.95. 175 that time. So 0.05 grams different. 0.9, yeah, whatever. 175. So these are both max weight, even though they both say 173. Odyssey, does the tape not add a couple grams? Yeah, actually it might. Yeah, perfect question, Odyssey. Let me find out. So the one I've set on there says 172. And I just folded this piece of tape over so it doesn't stick too bad. 172.2. So it added, and then it changed to 0.18. So about 0.2 of a gram. 0.17 of a gram. 0.15 of a gram. Yeah, so maximum 0.2 of a gram. I'm not too worried about that. Zach's asking why manufacturer's stated weight is almost off every time. Well, I'm not sure. There's two different things. One is that plastic absorbs moisture and that changes its weight over time. That is a known thing about plastics. If you do some just like Google research, you can pull some information up on it. I did a little bit of experimenting, didn't go very far. I only used one plastic type and submerged it in water and then kept pulling it out and weighing it, seeing if I could like accelerate the process of it getting heavier. And it did get heavier just a bit. I think the other factor is that they may try to control the weight before it goes into the mold. And so they're anticipating, based on pressure or something like that, that they're going to know how much it weighs on the way out. So they just like start stamping them and instead of actually weighing them and stamping. But I don't know what their process really is. Matt asked, what's the max weight on the Enigma? I think 175. I don't have one that says it's heavier than 175. Hey, on my last stream, I think I had a massive delay. I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 minutes, something crazy. I made a couple tweaks to this stream to try to get my delay as short as possible, which may result in my stream buffering, possibly. But if anybody in chat would help me check delay, that would be sweet. The way that we would check delay is you would post a comment, whatever you want, just like say a number or type a letter F or whatever. 744. So as soon as I saw 744 pop up, I set it F. So if you can time, like when you enter that, start a stopwatch or just like tell me how long you think it takes. F 844, 30 seconds. Addis says it's a 30-second delay still. Wall sauce. Mike says 1 second for me. Old Disc Golf, ready, set, go. Thanks, old guy. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. This one says 170. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I got it chopped way down. I changed a couple different things to try to... It was bugging me that the delay was so long. Oh, Evan says I'm saying it before I even see chat. Okay, well, that's perfect. Okay, here's a Neo that says 170. That was the one I was dropping tape on, and it's at 172. So I'll tell you, out of all the different discs that I've measured weights on, the standard is that stuff is heavier than it says, like across the board. If it's not what it says, it's heavier. It's extremely rare that I find a disc that ends up being lighter than what's listed. Ben is asking if I've thrown any evolutions. Yeah, I have thrown Neos a couple times. I've thrown Forge a few times. And then I have thrown the new Vapor a couple of times. I'm not a great resource to ask. Is that your dog on the monitor? Yeah, it is. And she's laying on my bed over there actually licking her paws. I don't know if you can hear some weird licky noises in the camera, but yeah, it's my dog Lola. Here's another Neo, 174, 175.3. Neo at 1 166. 167.4. $173 on a vapor. Oh, and it's 173. That one is spot on the first vapor that I weighed. Yeah, for, you know, if I'm like looking at a distance driver, if I want a reliable distance driver, I really like to throw between 168 and 172. Oh, Mike, audio is only coming through left? Left only for... Oh. That's interesting. I don't know if I can fix that right now. Yeah, I'm on an analog mic running through a preamp, and I think it is single channel. I've had it set so that it'll fix that on automatically for me when I go into post-production, like when I'm doing a video. Mike's you double checked on YouTube and everything else is both? Yeah, all the videos I've cranked out have been both. When I switched to this mic originally, it went mono, left only. Sorry guys. Yeah, it is supposed to be mono, but it should, you know, put the mono into both left and right. Dual channel mono, exactly. I don't know if I can find that setting on the fly. Evan says it's coming out of your headphones fine. It's coming out of both ears. Yeah, I redid some of my stuff. Sounds fine on a tablet. Yeah, the tablet's gonna sound fine. Honestly, on most speakers, it should be listenable, but on headphones, it would be annoying. Yeah, Streamlabs OBS is what I'm using. It's not the worst. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I spend a few minutes trying to figure it out, or is it okay and can I just run with how it is? Froki, best affordable bag that can carry a lot of discs. Fossa Skinny, Prodigy BP1. Those would be the two that I'd recommend. Sounds fine, sounds fine. Okay, we're just gonna roll with that. I will try to figure that out before next stream. Sorry for anybody that bugs. We can get weight on the second vapor. This one's marked 173. 173.75. So far the vapor has been the closest to the actual stamped weight. Vapor stamped 171, 172 flat. Grocery bag, yeah. Man, especially if you can get a second grocery bag, you can carry so many discs. You just double bag it, you know? They have a vapor delta? What? I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. Tommy 2 bags. 174. Okay, we got them all weighed. That's the boringest part. Grocery bag caddy. So I always wonder when I'm like collecting a data set on discs, what is going to be the most important factor that changes their stability? It can be weight, it can be dome, it can be wing shape. So what I'm going to do is order these by weight, because that's the only thing I've taken on them yet. And I'm going to go ahead and assign each disc a number. Alex asks, more dome equals more stability, correct? Yes, that is correct. If you're talking about within one mold, like within Enigmas, the most dome, the disc with the highest dome is, if all other things are equal, then it's going to be more stable. It's also going to have more glide. You don't get to see the extra glide that you get with extra dome unless you have the arm velocity and rotational spin on the disc to overcome the stability and, you know, get it to do something other than just hyzer spike straight into the ground. Keenan says that dome usually correlates to the parting line being pulled up. That could be the case. It's not, well, yeah, I mean, usually is a soft statement, which I appreciate. That's like, you know, recognizing that you only have a certain amount of data to go off of. There's definitely some destroyers out there that have pretty low parting line height and huge pop-top domes. And those are some of the ones that I seek out the most, because the low parting line height and a flatter wing makes it understable, but then the extra high dome gives a lot of glide and adds some stability back in. And that's a pretty wicked combination for me, for my arm speed, especially up at high elevation. Have Froki's asking if anybody tried throwing lighter weight discs with big dome. You have a 165 Wraith that's fun to throw. Yeah, especially getting into the low 160s, I have grip lock problems. I'm not comfortable throwing super lightweight discs. That causes more problems than what I gain from the extra velocity I can get. Okay, so let's check Let's check some dome measurements on these. So we're gonna flip over to the other camera, which there's nothing in view now, and I'll pull that out and correct the focus on it. So what I've just pulled into screen there is a modified digital height gauge. So what I did was just bolted a little, like attached a bolt to it. And I'm going to pull that bolt down. Oh, I may need to move. No. I'm going to move myself over just for a second at least. So with that gauge, I'm going to pull the bolt down until it just touches the board there, the tabletop, and then I'm going to zero it and pull it back up and start sliding discs underneath. Drew, when can we expect a Nantucket Stop and Shop bag review? That's we're talking grocery sack, right? Yeah, maybe like April Fool's video or something like that. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay. Getting a little spicy in chat here. Yeah. Is that coming through? Yeah, you can see there. It's zeroed on the ground. Noah, what disc is he measuring? I'm measuring Enigmas. I've got 11 Enigmas. I'm going to measure the dome height on all 11 of them to see how much they vary. I just finished going through weights on them to double check all the weights. So, yeah, I've got it zeroed on the floor there, the base of that wood, and we're going to start with the heaviest one first. I mean, not that like weight shouldn't correlate to dome at all. It's just that's all the data points I'm taking. So. Oh, I might have to pull that camera back a little bit further. You can't quite see what it says. 15.98. Let me pull that camera back further. No, I lied. It's 15.68. See if I can't get that focused a little better for you. There we go. 15.68 millimeters. Alexander, yeah, I think you're onto something. I'm not. I mean, yeah, that's part of the fun of like picking a big stack of discs and being able to measure them is you don't know you're going to get like an aha, a gotcha, or anything like that, like the crazy variability in destroyers. I think Trilogy is like these look consistent to the naked eye, so I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of difference there. Jamie's asking how the underside flashing is on the new Vapors. A lot of the Neos were sharp. I've only got 2 Neos. They're both mild, if you ask me. One has a little bit more than the other, but I could take that off in a couple seconds rubbing it on carpet. On the... Oh, that was primals. Is that what you were asking? Oh, no, you didn't say primals. You said Neo. So there's... Only one. Only one of the vapors has any flashing at all. So they definitely have very little. Oh, I messed up my numbers on these. Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. I just wrote a 1 instead of an 11. Oh, no, the 11 was supposed to be on this one. Yeah, if I pull these apart, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Angle it up just a tad. That's it. Oh, no, I think the camera's good. I don't want to bend the tripod is super funky. Free finger. I don't think that anyone is going to hold them to a higher standard, the big manufacturers. So they just do what they want. Okay. Chat got laggy again. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. This one's got a lot more dome, I can tell, just from how much I had to move it up. So that's the first vapor, and it's way taller. 1778. The first one was 15.6. That's more than 2 millimeters. Froki, I think one of the big issues is the amount of time that the discs are left in the mold. They come out pretty soft because they want to be able to inject the next one as fast as possible. That's another tall vapor. Matt's asking about Color Glow Phylos. I've got a couple. Yeah, they're medium. They look medium. I think there's some out there that are on the more understable side as far as like wing shape goes, but then they've got some dome to them. So yeah, I've got a couple I can pull out. Yeah, here's a couple Phylos. This one's not color glow, it's a swirly one. It has a super high dome on it. And then here's a color glow, and it's pretty flat. Yeah, the dome on this swirly one is way higher. You can it'll be easier if I threw it over on the camera, and I can do that later. But it's got this extra like ridge right here where like the top pops up again. So one of them was 16.5. That's the lowest so far, correct? Yeah, the lowest one was the first one. Oh no, 15.6 millimeters on a Neo, which also is a very lightweight Neo. It's a 166 gram Neo at 15.68 millimeters. And then the next one was 16.11. Seven, 6. 2 mil difference so far, yeah. Oops, sorry, I forgot to switch back. Yep, I got you, Alex. I'll be right back. Just a second, guys. You liking the ligmas? What's a ligma? Got him. Nailed it. 100. Easy. That looked so flat compared to the others, but it's still not as flat as the first one. As far as feel in the hand, does it feel similar to a destroyer? Definitely. The ones that feel the most different are the new vapor ones, and that's just because it's not a plastic I've felt in the destroyer. What's the flattest I've ever measured? I'm not sure. There's your Firebird. Yeah, there's some Firebirds out there that are super flat. I mean, there's stuff like, you look at what, a DDX or Innovaturn, and both of those just even have like a more shallow rim anyway. So there's some super flat discs out there. I've not thrown Shrikes. Why hasn't the Enigma caught on like the Destroyer or the DD3? Well, there's I think a lot of answers to that, but like look at pros on tour that throw the Enigma, and I don't have an answer for you. Not a single name. Araby Pro, are those flat? Yeah, Froki, you and me are on the same page. Well, this I think is a standout right here. This is that the Neo with the pink and the white swirls in there. I think it's the first one in the Neo plastic that's had that high of dome. 17.5. Nate Perkins throws Enigmas? I didn't know that. Alexander's asking if I can measure a DD3 or a Cloudbreaker. Yeah, I can, and I have. I've done quite a bit. If you want to, maybe I could just link that actually. Let me look real quick. I'm gonna sidetrack for just a moment. Oh, we're gonna try to. Hold on. How is the search function on Disc Golf Course Review? Oh, I can't even find it. Yeah, I'm not finding the post I was looking for. Oh, I found it. I found it saved on my computer. Okay, how do we do this? We go this over here, this over here. Full screen. Left display capture. Are we there? Did we make it? Okay, so here's the DD3s / cloud breakers that I tested. So I had, what is that, 6 S line, 2 color glow, 1 cloud breaker, and then 1 Echo DD3. And here's like a good picture on the 2 color glows that I had. That they, like, people were paying a ton of money for these color glows because they were flying understable like the Echo, whatever DD3s. And I made this because there's a huge difference in the wing curve on the Color Glow DD3s. So people were spending a ton of money on the Color Glow DD3s hoping that they would be more understable like these Echo DD3s. And here is the Echo DD3 compared against an understable Color Glow, compared against an overstable Color Glow. There's the Proto. And there's an understable S line. There's a whole conversation about that over on DGCR. That's where I posted that. I might have posted that on Reddit as well. I don't recall. I haven't thrown CD3s, Matt. Alexander, thanks. Yeah, I've built myself a pretty hefty rig here, mostly to try to play Escape from Tarkov, which is a very taxing game and was even worse in the past. So I built myself a fairly hefty rig for that. If you can find an Echo DD3, they are bombers, without a doubt. Okay, I got 2 more to measure the dome. Larry, I'm sorry about the mono audio. It is mono for everyone. I might have created that problem just when I was reworking my stream today. It is supposed to be mono, but it's supposed to be mono dual channel, and I haven't figured out how to... Didn't commit to fixing it on the fly, so I hope it's bearable. I'll try to have that squared away before my next stream. Black, yes, I have looked at some overmolds. And as far as I can tell, it does help prevent variations. I looked at a whole bunch of octanes and a lot of photons. I went through, I ordered big stacks of octanes and photons. And what I found was that, yeah, with that dual mold, I was seeing very little variation in the curvature of the wing. However, they still have a lot of variation on the height of the dome. So that's the thing to look at for overmolds. From what I've seen is especially on the higher speed drivers, is you just look at dome. You get more glide and more overstability with the tall dome. Alex, yeah, exactly. $60 on eBay. Those things, like they're. Like I've got one. I bought this from a local, played against sports. I bought a few there and shipped them to some friends. And I don't like it makes me feel like stupid for owning this or even throwing it because like even though it's like used and like slightly chewed up on the rim, scuffed and whatnot, I could still sell it for 30-40 bucks or something. The market is just insane right now. I don't think stiffness really plays a part in stability, Chad. Stiffness is more tied to plastic type than the mold. Matt, yeah, I've got some things in the work. I have a buddy that I just kind of talked with a little bit, but we do have plans to do some stuff like that in the future. I'd like to, yeah, I'd like to ask people to help support. I can do some cooler stuff with this channel if I get a little bit more cash. That's for sure. And I assume there's at least a few people out there that would be happy to spend a few dollars to help me out. So I'd like to get some stuff out there like that. Yeah, I actually set up a Patreon and then I took it down. I haven't shared the link to anybody. Just trying to figure out really what's the right thing to do there. I kind of hate to just ask for money unless I can give something in return. So I'm looking at doing like some mini markers or I had the idea of maybe even some scorecards or something like that. Try to at least offer something back to you guys for your support. TI is very durable. Yep, and pretty stiff. Larry's coming in with some knowledge. His Forge Enigma is taller than Vapor and Neo. Okay, I haven't looked at these that close yet to see. Doth pencils. Thanks, Chad. Okay, where are we at? Are we on to the last one? 1692. What disc was that? It's probably this one. Let me double check. Doth wooden scorecards. Yeah, I think my buddy that gave me that one I showed off the other day, I'm pretty sure he would be down to help out. The Echo plastic is recycled plastic. I believe that's the case. So it's probably more inconsistent, like what's actually being blended together compared to when they order big batches of plastic from whoever they get plastic from. Keenan, maybe you could use some of the discs you buy for testing for giveaways. You start up a Patreon. Yeah, I think yeah, that is possible. I definitely just sell them, but we could do some. I'm totally down to do some giveaways as well if I can figure out a clean way to do it. La Humpty Dumpty. Any thoughts on the crazy aftermarket prices? Yeah, I think there's a lot involved with that La Humpty. It's like I'm just waiting till next year. Like it literally maybe next summer, next fall, before that stuff starts to stabilize. Caterpillar t-shirt. Oh man, nobody would wear that. It looks like the screw is bowed. The camera is a Logitech C922X. I'm not sure how wide it is. and the screw may actually very well be bowed because it's getting pinched with that shackle that I have on there. So it may be bowed slightly, but it doesn't matter because I just zero the tip to the ground. So it's consistent. Give up on the wind broom? No. Bill and I, the disc golf guy. Okay, so if we are to take, I want to get the one with the tallest dome and the flattest, which I'm pretty sure the flattest was that first one we measured. Yeah, 15.68. So this lightweight Neo at 167 grams scaled with a 15.68 millimeter height compared to this Vapor, which is 172 scaled and 17.78. So 2.1 millimeters taller. We're going to put those side by side and look at the wing on them. I'm going to shake this camera around a little bit, so watch your eyes. Darren, audio's a little quiet on my end. Yeah, there's two issues. Unfortunately I'm in mono. I'm on left channel only. Counterstripe, how's it going? Say hi to your kiddo for me too. Let me get the focus adjusted on here. Well, somewhere in there. I'm having trouble telling where the right focus is. That looks close. He says hi. Awesome. Those look like substantially different shapes to me on the wing. He got his first ace this weekend, so he's full force into disc golf. Hey, congratulations on the ace. That's awesome. A lot of people go years and years playing without getting an ace. That's sick. Good work. Yeah, I can't see the parting line on the one on the right is pretty visible, but the I don't know if it's just the lighting or what. It almost looks like the parting lines line up perfectly, but the rest of the nose does not at all. Yeah, it's digital zoom. Digital zoom is useless. I can focus closer, so I could pull that. I could pull it closer. I think that pink, I'm just having issues getting the... Yeah. The lip is lower for sure. So like without a doubt, it looks like the one on the right is going to be a more understable disc, right? It's a lower, probably a lower parting line height, even though I can't quite see the seam on the one on the left. Definitely a lower nose, definitely a flatter looking bottom wing. All of those things would indicate that it is a more understable disc. However, the dome on the one on the right is I think it was 2.1 millimeters taller, and it's a substantially heavier disc. So those things might cancel out. Two very different discs. Yeah, they look substantially different. Yeah, exactly, Alex. They may even up. I thought that might show the parting line a little better. I looked for a little better spot, but yeah, cooling time I think is one of the biggest factors. Could be made same day, pulled out at different intervals. Yeah, so the batch of plastic being used, I think, is a huge... I shouldn't have said that. I think the plastic being used is potentially a major factor. Like if one batch of plastic is mixed different than the next, then they may shrink differently even if they're pulled out at the same temperature. But if discs are pulled out at substantially different temperatures, then you get some wild things going on. Like those destroyers that I had in frame at the very beginning, one of those, you can rotate the disc and the wing shape changes from one side of the disc to the other. Like how you can't explain that unless it came out like really hot and gooey. Let's see some more wings. Yeah, what do you want to see? I can do you want to look at, like I've got two different sets of plastic up there, so we can do all Neos compared to each other, or we can do all vapor compared to each other. Pigments affecting discs as well. Those are different plastic batches. Darren, that's awesome. I hope you get that job. That would be sweet. That would be really cool to know more about what goes on in there. I assume once you get in, you probably sign an NDA, and you can't say a whole lot about it. And, you know, that makes sense. They want to protect their information, but Alex wants Neos. I'm down. Are the Primal is Neo? Does anybody know? I'm assuming Primal is Neo. Goth, what's your day job? I repair appliances, home appliance repair, washing machines, refrigerators, dryers. I fix all that stuff. Besides using different plastics, how does the manufacturer make a disc lighter? They put more air in. Pretty certain Primal is Neo. Okay, we're going to call it. We're going to put Primals in with Neos. So in that case, I have 5 Neos. We'll put the 2 Primals against each other. I think the one on the right is more overstable. It could be an optical illusion. It's always hard to say. 40 watching, only 18 likes. Come on, guys. Yeah, Alex is rooting for me. Thanks, man. Nico, really enjoy you covering some Discmania drivers. You mainly throw Discmania. Awesome. Yeah, I'd like to get data sets on, you know, pretty much every other destroyer, copy, or whatever that's out there. Last I heard on the Upper Park Rebel, Darren, I think they were saying before the end of the year, but I can't tell you where I saw that. I'm not sure if it was maybe some comment on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. I know there was a big shakeup. They got some new investors, I believe. So totally looking forward to it whenever it is. Again, I want to say the right one's more overstable. So is it? No, that one, that's huge. Look at the nose on those. The blue nose is so much higher than the pink. The Bob Ross of disc golf reviews. Thanks, Counter-Strike. That's an awesome compliment. Wyatt is asking if I got any bags up for sale. The only thing I'm trying to sell right now is this Prodigy BP1V2. I have had it listed on Facebook a couple times now for $75. Local pickup. I'm trying to sell it locally, and nobody's wanted to snag that one. The Magnum PI of disc golf. Thanks. That Prodigy I could potentially disassemble and ship. Where's local? Salt Lake City, Utah. Finger guns. Yeah, that's crazy. That blue looks like a monster. I was just curious if sliding him on the camera makes a difference. No, it almost does, doesn't it? That made the lip come down on them. Chad's asking about consulting with a bag company. Any info on that? That company actually has put together a survey, which I kind of hinted at right at the beginning of this stream, and I'll post. Actually, I can do that right now. I was gonna drop a link to it. They're looking to gather more data from a bunch of people, not just my opinions, but they want your opinions as well, and are putting up a $250 gift card to OTB to anyone that completes the survey. It's like a 35 question survey, and this is going to be open for 1 week. I'm going to dump it in the chat Oh, well, I tried to. Where's my chat window? Can I do it over here? There's a link. And this is what it looks like. So it's a 35 question survey. You do have to put in your name, your email address. I trust these guys. I don't think your data is going to be used for any nefarious reason. You're not going to get a whole bunch of emails or anything like that. I've had enough communication with them. I'm pretty confident that they're good folks, and they want to remain anonymous at this time. Totally understandable. They're looking to bring a new design disc golf bag to market. And I've been, freely giving them any of my opinions and stuff like that, and they want your opinions as well. So if any of you guys want to get in, just bookmark this or whatever. I mean, you can do it right now as well. I did a speed run on it, just kind of like, how quick can I get through this thing? It took me about 6 minutes. I was a little bit surprised. It wasn't all like bag questions to start with, but they kind of like want to understand what type of person is looking to buy bags. So it's a bunch of just disc golf related questions and stuff like that. Probably 6 to 10 minutes of your time, but you'll be entered for a gift card for $250. So I think it's a pretty sweet deal. And the information you put in, Darren's already doing the speed run. Yeah, just be honest. Give them good information. Don't do a bunch of random clicks. It'll be open for 1 week, so you don't have to go through it right now if you don't want. I'm pretty psyched though. I'm just, I'm passionate about bags. I really am enjoying, the different communications I've had with a few manufacturers, and if people want to make a brand new bag design, like I am all for it. I'm happy to give my input. Cute puppy, thanks. Yeah, she is a cutie. Here, I'll do a quick pan by. She's laying on my bed right now. Like, oh, she was sleeping, but I think she knew I was talking about her. This is Lola. You wanna say hi, Lola? Yep, you're on camera, girl. Yep. She's a good dog. Counterstripe's looking to get into a new bag. What's the best bag you would recommend for $250? Or is a pound worth the jump in price? Pounds are awesome. It's hard for me to say whether it's worth it. You need like quite a bit of expendable income to really go for a pound. You definitely get sweet quality with a pound. You have the cool options to do like a custom builder. Those are all great things, but to justify a $500 bag is tough. Like, I can't really recommend that. BP1V3 is sweet. That's a cool bag. Like, for the price, like I see a better value in a BP1V3 than I do in a pound octo haul. And the BP1V3 might even have like durability issues within a year or two. I don't know about that for sure, but for the price, it's so much of a lower price. This bag that I've got in the corner right here, this Ridge, I'm super impressed with. I've finished a review on it last week. I've set that video to go out live tomorrow sometime. I forget which time I set, but that's a $280 bag, and it has totally impressed me. Like that brand, the Ridge Roller, it belongs in the company of Grip and Pound. Like that, for a name that's like not shared a whole lot, it's an exceptional bag. You can fit so many beers in that BP1 slaps bag. Damn right you can. I rotate through bags. I'm trying to test so many. I just kind of have a queue built up right now, so I'm rotating through bags like crazy. The MVP watermelon bag, I feel like I saw a picture or something about that, but I don't have any more information. I don't know. So when I slid that camera left and right and saw a difference in how high or low the parting lines looked, that is a defect in my current setup. When I was doing pictures of parting line heights and rims before, I actually had built a jig. So it was a single piece of wood that had a fixed mount for it was actually my phone that I was dropping in there for pictures. And then I had points to pin discs. So when I set discs in, they were always sitting in the exact same spots, and my camera was held in the same spot. So I always had the exact reference. But this setup I actually just put together this morning and was checking lighting and stuff, and I'll have to work on that so I can get some better information on it. Aaron, you've had what for 2 months with constant strain on it? Oh, the BP1V3? Yeah. I'll be right back. Okay, so the parting line height, I haven't committed to like a way to measure that, but I have been doing the wing depth measurements, and that's probably the hardest one to actually show. But I will make an attempt. First, what I want to do is figure out, and maybe we'll actually just go back to those first two that I had up there. What was that? It was the one with the most dome and the flattest one. Both the pinks. Yeah, it was the, I'm pretty sure this one at 17.78, and then the super lightweight at 15.68. Yeah. That's it. That's such a different wing. Yeah, for sure. This is where we introduce a whole bunch of human error. So what I do, wasn't there an 18? No, 17.78. millimeters was the tallest dome on this vapor. So for this test, I'm using digital calipers that have a depth gauge. So how the depth gauge works is this little guy that pokes out the bottom. That's showing me how deep something is. So I zero it up on the top. That's at 0 now. And then depending on how far that pokes down. And what I'm doing is poking down into the wing, searching for the deepest part of the wing. Alex is going to bed, East Coast. I hear you, man. Thanks for stopping by, Alex. Appreciate it. So what I found the best way to get that measurement is to take a little flat piece of bar like that has a hole in it, and I'll use that to brace the depth finder. And what I'll do is I'll poke it out long like that and then put it in there, and I'm searching. So I've done this. There's a lot of, like I said, human error involved. One issue is that I need to keep the gauge at a right angle. If I'm way off here or way off here, I'm gonna get a weird result. It got on inches somehow. I don't want it on inches. I want it on millimeters. So I can't do this without bringing it up into the camera. .72, 2.71, 2.71. 2.70. So I'm going into the same spot, and I'll probe multiple times to look for inconsistencies, because I know I may not find the deepest part right away. And so that's why I'm going to probe 3 or 4 times. And you could hear from the readings that I pointed out, they weren't too far off. But getting measurements in one point is also not enough. Like I've talked about, especially on destroyers, you can have a huge variation from one side to the other. So I'll do 3 or 4 probes in that one spot, and then I'll rotate, and I'll do that in 3 or 4 spots around the disc. 2.75. So immediately I got deeper there than I had at the other spot. 2.73. 2.66. Definitely was off on that one. That's an outlier. 2.68. 2.70. So normally I'm writing these down so that I can average them. 2.66, 2.66, 2.67. This would be really hard to build a jig to do consistently. 2.66, but a jig would definitely be superior. Looks like a contour gauge would be useful here. If a contour gauge is what I think it is, I don't think they make them small enough. What company molds the Discmania Evolution discs? It's Sweden. It's Lat 64. It's yeah. They're like, it's stamped right on there that it's made in Sweden. So I think the deepest I got was 2.7, was it 2.75, something like that. And then 2.66 was another one I saw a whole lot. And that's the one that we are saying is a flat, looked like to be a flatter wing compared to this one. .58, 2.59, 2.57. So this is the last like hard piece of data that I collect, and then it's time to throw. 2.59, 2.58, 2.59, 2.58. So my assumption was incorrect from looking at the camera, and that's because I didn't have a jig set up to hold the camera and discs in place. 2.52, 2.51. This Neo actually is a flatter top and a flatter wing, and it's lighter weight, 2.51, than the Vapor. So based on that information, I would say that this Neo is hands down more understable than this Vapor. But it's kind of hard to, you know, it's hard to make that strong of assumptions from just doing a bunch of measurements. Getting them out into the field and really throwing is where it's at. And with this many discs, that's a tough thing to do, but I will get out to throwing them more. Most of these aren't mine, but I know my buddy is down to throw, so. Matt's got to head out. Hey, have a good night, Matt. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, see you in the next one. Counter-Stripe, have you done similar tests on MVP? Octanes and photons, I have tested. Yes, they are consistent. What's not consistent on the MVP discs is dome. They still have a lot of variation in the height of dome on MVP and Axiom, just like the other brands. Chad, I don't believe I've posted the MVP results anywhere. I have that data stored somewhere, and even did some flight footage and stuff for those, but I don't know if Discmania is molding anything in Colorado. Not sure about that. Chad, yeah, that's definitely something I could, if I compiled that data a little bit better, I could put out information on all the discs I've tested for sure. I feel like that all the numbers you want to crunch, and still it comes down to how they fly, you know, and that's why not only getting out there and throwing them and showing footage of them flying, but also having the information about arm speed. Like I've got a radar gun that I've been using. You know, if I'm, like in some of those previous videos I've done, I'm not healthy enough to throw a whole bunch of throws like that, so I'll have a buddy do it, and I'll get his arm speed and, you know, see what the differences are. But even the arm speed is still missing information, like what's the spin rate, right? You see some guys out there that are throwing at slower speeds, but their discs are going crazy far, and like that's got to be spin, right? Like in the last disc golf podcast that just released, Joe and Robin and Ian are on there talking about that as it related to, you know, like Ian from Central Coast Disc Golf. He's been doing radar gun stuff on his videos for a while, and they were talking about Bradley Williams, and how he has slower arm speed, but still throws crazy far. And they were talking about how it's probably spin, and I totally agree. Consistent throwing machine, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Brandon wonders all the time about the flight plate. It's the largest part of the disc and potentially the biggest effect. I'm not sure what you mean. Effect on the biggest effect on what? Yeah, I think building a throwing machine would be tough. If you're trying to, you'd have to figure out how much spin to impart on the disc. How much spin do you want the machine to impart on the disc? And we don't even have data on how much spin different throwers generate. So you'd kind of have to decide, what do you want that machine to be, like an intermediate thrower, or like the Max Ultra Pro or whatever, throwing some crazy far distance. Yeah, aerodynamics, as far as it goes with wing shape and the flight plate, is not something that I can speak to. That pretty much wraps up what I wanted to do with these Enigmas. If you guys want to see any other discs, put up in the other camera, look at wing shapes or anything like that, feel free to ask. I've got quite a bit around. Otherwise, I might just go ahead and wrap up here. Mike wants to see Cloud Breakers too. That's a hard pass on that one. Is a Malta a Discraft Rock 3? No. I think that a Malta is a smaller diameter, actually. I think that's the biggest difference. Maltas are funky. I don't have a Rock 3 here to show you. I did have Maltas. Actually, I might not even have a Malta anymore. Fletcher's asking about PDs. Yep, I got some PDs around. Froki, you're welcome. John got here late. Will video be up on like maybe a summary? I will post this in full length on my channel. That worked a little bit weird last time. It took YouTube a while to transfer it over. Sometime tomorrow you'll see the entire thing up. I'm gonna take the live streams and pop them over as VOD, so you can just watch them there. Possibly you'll go through and clip a couple little sections and put them up in some more bite-sized form, so they're a little easier to watch. But the full VOD will be available. Chad's thinking that some ASMR of disk data could go well. I think that there's a very few people that would enjoy that. Wyatt, I'll message you on. Okay, Wyatt. I'll look for the message on Reddit. Thanks. Mike's looking for tips on learning a forehand. I think the disc choice is important. One of my buddies that has the very best forehand has a pretty strong opinion that like one of the best discs to learn a forehand would be something like a T-Bird. You definitely don't want to go with a crazy overstable disc. That's going to be a crutch. You might get better results from a very overstable disc, but it's going to teach you some bad things. RIP Counter-Stripes Malta. Yep, you got it, John. Thunderbirds. I have some Color Glow Thunderbirds. 4 a.m. in Denmark. Oh my, free finger. That's a late one. Yes, I would recommend the Skinny 2 as a lightweight second bag to the Octo. The Skinny 2 might hold, it's not like a tiny disc carrier, unless you're willing to like set a second bag on the side of it or something like I was running it, but yeah, I really like the Skinny 2. Yep, T-Bird. Yeah, we got a few other people coming in talking about T-Bird, so I think that's something like that's the way to go. Yeah, Tron. Yeah, that has been said. I'm sorry. I did. I knew that was an issue earlier on, and I had it fixed, and then I screwed some stuff up. I was changing a bunch of stuff before this stream, and somehow it got reverted, and I'm not sure how to fix it, so I hope you can bear with it. Actually, I will fix it after this stream, but I don't think I can fix it on the VOD. I'm not sure about that. New FT2s are money. Yeah, the Royal FT2 Royal Rages are sick for sure. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. No problem here. Yeah, thanks, Tron. Appreciate it. Royal Rages are awesome. I've got a little secret stash of them. Do I have a go-to disc at the moment that you heavily rely on? My go-tos that I heavily rely on right now are Meteor, Firebird, and I've been throwing Hades a whole lot for distance forehand, and then Destroyers. Yeah, Counter-Strike, I can do that. The way that these VODs work, though, it's not actually a file saved in my computer. Like, it's on YouTube. And I'm not familiar with YouTube's editor, so that's something I'll have to find out. But if I actually had the file, yeah, I can totally handle the audio. Audacity, yeah. Somebody asked about PDs. Yeah, there's a couple Royal Rages right there. Wait, is this not the right? Oh. Yeah, here's a few PDs. What's the forum right now? Any questions? Yeah, feel free to shoot any questions if you want. I kind of got through the data set that I wanted to collect on the Enigma, so I'm just chilling right now. I'm kind of winding down. I'm ready to end the stream unless any requests come through. Counter-Strike wants to see data on Streamline, MVP. Yeah. I don't have a whole bunch of PDs. I've sold a lot, but yes, I've seen like huge dome variation in PDs in the past. Best course near Salt Lake. My buddy lives there and makes fly fishing boats. You're going to come for a visit next spring, summer. So the first thing to check I would recommend for your visit is look to see if Solitude Mountain Resort has put in their disc golf course. You can ride a lift up to the top of the course, which you got to pay money for a lift ticket, or you can hike in even if the place isn't open. But you got to find out if the baskets are in or not. Baskets didn't go in this year. If it's early spring, it kind of depends on snow melt and stuff like that. That is the number one course that I would recommend is Solitude Mountain Resort. It is legendary. It's epic. It'd be nice if you could find somebody to show you the way through. It can be tough. The Fort Buenaventura, that's going to be Home of the Worlds 2021. That's a new course for the area. It's truly epic. It's our first like legit disc golf course, really. Solitude has some funky stuff with massive elevation changes and whatnot. Yeah, no baskets. I've been up there this year still playing some, even with no baskets, up at Solitude, just doing some object golf. Creekside's great for a quick hit. It's kind of like I don't know, it's one of the more popular courses around. It tends to be super crowded, lots of beer drinking, smoking, stuff like that. But it's a nice wooded course. It's got some fun shots. I personally play Roots more than anything else. Froki, I missed your comment about newer runs of FD2s. I don't have any newer runs of FD2s. Counter-Strike, best disc for a kid. Throws mostly forehand. I would go pretty lightweight. I think that's pretty huge. And something understable, like like an FD. That I think a super lightweight FD would be awesome, in like a D line or a P line plastic. It kind of depends how much arm. I don't know how old your kid is. Chad, I am using, like my summer shoe is a La Sportiva Akasha. I really like that shoe for a summer disc golf shoe. Halfway, I'm gonna do it in the bag. Kind of on the fence whether I just do it like during a live stream or actually make like a real video of it. But yeah, I do plan to get it out. Black Disco Philo Destroyers have a lot of variation. From what I've seen, they tend to be on the understable side of the Destroyer spectrum. A 130 Sidewinder and Fission Tesla, those sound awesome too. Tron, you're welcome. Thanks for the compliment. I'm glad you're getting something out of it. He's 7, throwing 150 feet. Yeah, I would say, stay to the understable side in the 7-speed range. Fletcher, I have not seen the underside of an FX2. It's a satin finish. What the heck? So they're just like polishing the mold differently? That's interesting. That's the first I've heard of anything like that. Froki's like in the barefoot trail shoes. Froki, I've never owned a Scorpius. I'd love to get a pile of them though, and start doing some comparison, recording a data set on those and throwing them. That'd be great. Darren, yeah, that sounds about right. I think that's pretty spot on with what I've seen as well. They're almost sandblasted in texture. Huh. That's super weird. Is there a pattern to the texture? Like I know on some of Discraft stuff, especially in their Z plastic, it'll be like you can see some texture to it because it's a little bit of a rougher mold. One of my friends handed me an Emperor. I think I've thrown it once or twice. It feels nice. Maybe I haven't thrown it. Maybe I've just held it. But no, yeah, no, I haven't really looked at Emperors. This is the PD I've thrown probably more than any other. It's got a little infinite double stamp on there. It's a G line flexible. It's a max weight 175 G line FD. I've beat it in pretty good. It's a little bit of a flatter one. Chad, the Ridge video is dropping. I set it to premiere tomorrow. You think it might be your next bag after months of searching? Bag vids have been a great help. Yeah, thanks. I forget I think I set it for late morning. 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock or something. It'll be out tomorrow. No real pattern or texture on those FX2s. Huh. I'm curious about that. Have a good night, Mike. You've got an extra to send me, Fletcher? Right on. Can you send me a message on Reddit or... Whoa. That was not the right button. Yeah, I'd be psyched to check one out if you have an extra. That'd be sweet. Sweet, you're on Reddit? Awesome. I'll look for that. PM, yeah, for sure. Thanks. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap up here. Any last minute questions you want to slide in? Now's the chance. Tron's asking, what's the most sentimental disc you own? I've got a few really old discs that I inherited from my dad. I started playing when I was a young kid, so some of those discs are pretty cool. I also have a... where's it at? I've got this 2017 Utah Open Sake Bomb compass that Ricky signed for me. It was a limited stamp. It's number 9 of 50. It's got a certificate with it as well. I'm not like the hugest Ricky fan anymore with some of the more recent stuff that he's gone through and how he's handled that. But I was a big Ricky fan in the past. He came through and he won the 2017 Utah Open. That was in between his 2 world titles. He did a fundraiser event at a course not too far north of here, and I went up with the chance to play against him, and I actually took it down. I beat Ricky and, got him to sign this disc and everything. So it's kind of special in that way. That's like one of the best brags that I'll ever have is, beating him in a tournament between his 2 world titles. Chad, with how disc technology has changed, what are your thoughts on having multiple molds in a bag versus variations of less molds? That's a hard one to answer. Like for me, I just enjoy throwing new discs so much that like even if it hurts my game and how I score, I want to throw new discs. Josh is asking what else do I like? I'm a climber. I like climbing and I play video games. That's pretty much it. What's in your bag at the moment? I'm testing a bunch of Halo destroyers. Otherwise, I have Fierces and Lunas that I'm putting with. I am throwing meteors, comets, drones, a tactic, Firebird, what's it called? A boatman, and Hades, and a variety of Zeus's, destroyers, and forces. That's a sweet stamp. Yeah, that Ricky stamp is sweet. Beat the reigning champ. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it was a limited chance. Comets are great. I've been throwing a meteor, this Tour Series Van Dyke and Meteor. I've been throwing it a little bit more than the Comet recently, partly just because of the bag that I'm currently testing. I can't fit as many discs. So this Commander cooler bag that's what I'm currently testing right now. With the cooler in there, I can't fit all my normal discs, so I'm a little bit of a slim down bag right now. The tactic is amazing. Too understable, too quick. Yeah, I don't know what you're throwing. I've been throwing them in the tactics and the vapor plastic, and I'm also up at 5,000 feet, so stuff is a lot more stable up here. I feel like they're maybe like a jawbreaker zone. That might be a good comparison. Like what a zone does at sea level, a tactic does at 5,000 feet. I love the tactic. Check out some mint discs. Tron, yeah, I've got, what are they called? The Alpha. I have a couple Alphas, I think. Yeah, I've been trying, I've made somewhat of a switch over to Discraft. Full Discraft bag for a while, just to force myself to try new stuff, and then slowly started putting my other discs back in that I thought was going to beat out Discraft, so I like a mixed bag. Yeah, Discraft is cranking out some sweet swirls. Hydrobomb Mortar. Yeah, I've not tried that, but that sounds like a great choice. I really like some of the swirls that have been coming out in these the Presnell drones. One of my favorite things is those white, the real dense white milky swirls. This is one of the drones. This is the drone I've been bagging for a while now and thrown it quite a bit. Those swirls are so sweet. And then here's the backup for it. Like this isn't a great one for searching. It's not, that's the colors that'll blend in pretty good, but Discraft is just, they're kicking in of his butt when it comes to colors and swirls and whatnot. Chad, I've not tried the fuse, I don't believe. Yeah, these are some awesome colors. Those drones, I don't know if it's just because not a whole lot of people throw the drones, so it's a little bit easier to, you know, find them in some super pretty plastic, or if for some reason that, you know, Discraft was just killing it with the drones. Yeah, you're right. Innova has stepped up. They've come back out, you know, with the Halo, for sure. Here's the Halo destroyers that I've been testing. This, you know, yellow one's not anything like super special, but it's got a pretty crazy flat wing. It's a bomber. It's a bomber for sure. This red one has got a little more dome to it. It's a little bit more stable. I've noticed in the Halo that there's like two distinct patterns to them. Like if you look at the blend line on the Halo here, it's kind of fuzzy and foggy compared to the blend line on this one, where it's like very jagged and lots of kind of sharper teeth to it. And the ones with the sharper teeth they're like it looks like a shimmer in there. You can see reflections in the yellow plastic. It's hard to get just right. Whereas on the ones that are fuzzy, have the fuzzy blend line, it doesn't have that shimmer to it. So there's like two distinct variations of Halo destroyers. So the Halo destroyers, I mean, I've got 6 of them that I've been testing. They are in the middle to overstable variety for destroyers. They do not hit the top end of stability. So definitely weighted towards the middle stability. And then I've got the rest of these are X outs that I wiped the stamps off of these. You can see the X out ghosting in there. So these are a couple more fuzzy rimmed ones. And then a couple more with like the toothed rims where it's like super reflective and shimmery, and the plastic on the rim. No, I don't have any other Halo discs. These 6 destroyers are all that I've got. Wyatt, the Commander's interesting. The zippers are all backwards on it, which is just like one of the most simple things, but it makes it frustrating for me when people put zippers on backwards. Just like quality of life goes down. You like that green? It's a pretty... Darren's not the biggest fan of the Halo. Like the color glow and swirly star. Yeah, until you order swirly star and you get sent garbage like this. Here's Innova's swirly star right here. I paid a premium for some Barsby Eagles, and this is the baby poop that I got rewarded with. Yeah. Oof is right. I mean, I love Barsby. I'm like happy that my money goes to support him, you know? But who wants these discs? Like Innova, what the hell? I even like the color green. I'm not opposed to it, but this is just, I don't know. The zippers on the Commander are why you're looking to replace it. Those need to be sold on discount? Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry. That was loud in the mic, I'm sure. Yeah, baby poop. Where's this? This is Discraft's version of baby poop right here. It was a Haley King Stalker. You're like, sure, yeah, it's going to be hard to find. That's like not the best color transition, yet it's still pretty sweet. That teal in there is just, I don't know. It's still quite nice. Froki, have you tried the essence? Yeah, I really like the essence. I have quite a few essences. The ads for the Innova swirls are great. Yeah, you go to like a release on Innova's site, and the picture that they show you is of some sweet disc, and they're like try to generate a whole bunch of hype, and then a bunch of the stuff that they ship out is like, it's a lesson I've learned the hard way over and over again. Like those two Barsby Eagles are the most recent one, where I'm just like, why do I keep doing this to myself? I should never buy anything from Innova on a release like that. Wait until it hits the online stores. They'll actually show pictures of individual discs, and then get one at that time. You hate how they call this Z, but it's obviously special blend. Yeah, like I have another one. This one feels a whole lot more like Z to me. Yeah, the color change Cloudbreaker 2s, Chad. Yeah, I've seen that a few things. I've got a Star T-Bird that does a little bit of a color change from white to pink in the sun as well. Yeah, wait for the OTB to drop. Yep. I've got an order coming in later this week from OTB, actually. I've got some DGA Hurricanes coming in. Shop at your FLDS. I don't know what that means. I assume you mean local brick and mortar. You saw a hilarious commercial for Hurricanes? I have not seen that. I don't know what that is, Froki. Friendly local disc store. Yeah, okay, Tron. That is about what I assumed. Chad, how many discs in my collection? I probably have 200, 250 right now. It was a little over 300 in the spring, and I finally bit the bullet and started selling and shipping a whole bunch out. I need to start selling and shipping a bunch more again. Or do giveaways, I guess. Where would I like to see Kevin Jones go if he leaves Prodigy? Pretty much any other brand. I've been a little slow to come around on Prodigy. I've actually got the first two Prodigy discs I've ever ordered are coming in this week. I ordered a couple, what is it, M4 in the 400 plastic. I kind of like to see KJ go to Discraft. I've always been like a little bit of an anti-Paul Macbeth fan. Like, I like Paul Macbeth. Like, he seems like a sweet guy and nobody can deny his talent. But something about him going to Discraft and then Paige being there, and I'm a huge Paige fan. It's just totally brought me around on Discraft. Oh, you saw it during live coverage? Yeah, Prodigy. if they're going to offer anybody a sweet deal, it would be him or Cat, right? Prodigy 750 plastic is the only plastic I like, and only in their fairways. You'd like to see KJ on lat 64? Be there with Emerson. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those M4s in, see what they do. I really like putters and understable mids, so I'm sure they'll be fun to throw. KJ to MVP, that would be cool too. Yeah, Discraft is winning big for Oki. I think, be curious to see how long they stick with it. Riley, I don't know. I mean, I think it's an investment that can pay off. Like, do you think Discraft spent more money to get Paul than what they're making off of Paul? Yeah, I'd say definitely paid off. All right, guys, I'm going to bow out here. I've got a few other things I need to settle this evening before I head out. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Go check out that. What's it called? The survey. Why is that such a hard word for me to remember? That Survey Monkey disc golf bag survey. Make sure you guys get in on that. It's going to run for 1 week, and then one person that has gone through the survey will get the gift card. Please link survey again. Doth for PDGA president. Thanks, David. Yeah, there's a survey, 35 question survey. It'll take you 5 to 10 minutes to get through it, and you'll be entered in a giveaway for a $250 gift card to OTB. So, well worth your time. Your data won't be used for anything sketchy. No marketing email sent to you, nothing like that. So, make sure you guys get in on it. And thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate it a bunch.